and players smiling.
But Michael Jordan is not only the best basketball player, but he's the most exciting basketball player to ever play.
Tatum fires away, pumps it in, 51 for Jason Tatum.
The Big Three NBA podcast is powered by the Game Time app.
Let's start with the most pertinent information that we just got 24 hours ago. Jaylen Brown talking to the media about why he feels as though he was left off of Team USA. Gary, you were there. Sherrod's already smiling. Let's get into it. He admitted he thinks that Nike is a reason why he wasn't selected to be a reserve for this team. So what do you two make of his comments? And just being bold enough to even say that to the public, too.
I'm going to let Gary carry the big weight on this, but I just want to say one thing.
Okay.
I am glad that Jaylen Brown, in his own low-key but very real way, pointed out he's got, and Gary knows where I'm going with this, he's got his own sucker list. Fellas that are on that list that he is going to be looking at very closely once the season starts. Talked about motivation, all that. I'm feeling that energy, Jaylen. I am so feeling that energy. Gary, I'm curious to hear your thoughts for us because you opened that suckers list door with your question during the interview scrum.
Yeah, I mean, he was there with, I don't know how to pronounce her first name, Kayseri Gondrzak? Kaiser. Okay, like Kaiser. Okay, I did not know like the hospital. Okay. Kaiser Gondrzak, and then Angel Reese rolls up. So that was kind of, mad, kind of random. I know that Gondrzak and Reese used to be kind of teammates for a minute with the Sky. Yeah. She got away from the Sky like about a month ago or something. But,
which was around the time of when she was on the float with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, right before then, I think. Yeah. So she got waived, but, now she's winning with Jaylen apparently. And
she's doing all right.
Yeah.
Came back at her.
And, Angel Reese was there because Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky are playing the Las Vegas Aces tonight. So that's a big game right before the All-Star break. So Jaylen gladly talked to us. He seemed to be in good spirits. He had a NBA Finals cap on, the Celtics with the Celtics logo. Like, he was chilling, and he just basically told us that he wanted to, I think, make clear, evidently, obviously, that he was good with Derrick White. It was not a issue with Derrick White making the team. He said he called Derrick. He let him know he loved him, that he was happy for him, and he's happy for the rest of the guys who made Team USA. But he does feel slighted, and he does feel Nike had something to do with him not being included on the team, regardless of the reasons you can come up with, oh, well, it's a, they need more guards and all, I just think I've seen some people try to explain this basketball-wise, and it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. And I said, I think Derrick White's a great player, and he should be on the team also. But for Jaylen not to even get a sniff of this is something that I think is very political, and I think it's very intentional. And I think Jaylen agrees. But he said he sounded optimistic, happy about the season coming up. Sounds like he's still kind of in celebratory mode a little bit, but he knows the team's going to have to get down to business, obviously, in the next couple of weeks, starting to prepare for off-season workouts and starting to get back in that ramping up in that shape. Because obviously, I think their training camp starts in about 2 months, a little bit more than that, because they go start the season early with those 2 games in Abu Dhabi. I'll butcher that too. The United Emirates with the Nuggets. So he seemed in good spirits, but he definitely wanted to know, A, that he does think Nike has something to do with it, and B, he's really good with Derrick White, and he has no animosity toward this decision. I think he has more animosity toward just the process.
It's summertime, and there's no better way to spend it than at the ballpark. Popcorn, soda, hot dogs. I'm starting to get hungry just thinking about it. Those games create lasting memories, and getting to those games is a lot easier with Game Time, which is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Now, being a Yankees fan that I am living here in Boston, I know it gets complicated and very uncomfortable from time to time, but keeping an eye on the AL East is a really big deal for me, as you can imagine. I know I can go to the Game Time app and jump on the best deals quickly. The color coding options at the ballpark make it super easy to see what are the best deals for the best seats from all the seats in that particular venue. And you can customize your search options based on your favorite team or your favorite team to watch. The Game Time app makes it super easy to get into the game, and you can't beat Game Time's lowest price guaranteed. And when you're ready to lock up your tickets, Game Time has all-in pricing, so there's no surprise fees at checkout. Hate when that happens. Take the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
And that makes sense, but it doesn't in any way, shape, or form explain or give you some sense of why he didn't make it clear from the very beginning that he was cool with Derrick. I mean, that was really the issue that most people had with Jaylen's gripe. I mean, I think most people would agree that Jaylen should be on that team. When you start looking at the guys on that squad and you start looking at the body of work that Jaylen Brown has put together, not just this year, but really the last couple of years, he really should have been on that team and it shouldn't have been an issue. But for you to not be in a team, and then for the spot that would have, in theory, gone to you, going to one of your teammates, for you not to be vocally supportive of them from the very minute they got that spot, that's where the problems arose. I mean, I'm curious to hear Jaylen speak more about just the Nike role, because he sounds like he got some receipts. I mean, you listen to the way he talked. It's like, there's the rest of the story will come out. You better come with some receipts if you're talking like that, because we all have seen historically. Not just this team, but Team USA basketball has been to some degree political. I mean, you telling me you're going to put together the dream team, but you don't got Isaiah Thomas on it? Come on now. I mean, you start looking at, and there was some undeniable politics going on there. So Jaylen's point is it's a legitimate one, and it's one that we've seen before. But I'm hoping that as he talks more about this and really tries to clear the air and squash this once and for all, that he brings some receipts to the conversation so that we can say, oh, Nike did what? They said this. You got that receipt? Okay. That's the kind of stuff that Jaylen needs to do if he really wants this thing to, one, be squashed, and or two, bring about some substantive and significant changes to the process. Because as you pointed out, Gary, that is the one thing that as I listen to Jaylen talk more and more about this, it seems that's the issue, that there is a protocol that goes down when these teams are selected, that there's a high level of that lacks transparency, that there are elements, like there's not even a real tryout. I mean, I think back to, like years ago when Dan Marley made the Olympic team. He only made that team because they had tryouts and he bust everybody ass. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was no way some kid from Central Michigan was going to make the damn Olympic team unless he was balling out. And that's what he did. And you would hope that at some point, maybe Team USA will get back to its roots and actually have true and fair competition for these spots. And if you made the team the previous 4 years, then maybe you have a select number of guys that get in automatically. But it feels like there should be some level of tryouts for this thing, and not just guys automatically, ordained as you're going to be an Olympian and you're going to be an Olympian and you or not be an Olympian, even though you got NBA Finals and Eastern Conference Final, and until like 2-3 weeks ago, you were the highest paid dude in the NBA. So anyway, I feel, Jaylen, I just wish you to talk more about Derrick White on the front end and just kind of made that a non-story, because it was a story for a minute there.
I think anyone that follows the Celtics, though, understands that he has a level of respect for all of his teammates where it was never about them. It was more so about Nike. But to your point, it will always be a story just because it is still controversial. But to your point, he needs to pull those receipts out because we would all love to, I'm sure, read them.